Hi, everyone. I'm Denise O'Malley, the founder of You Define Wellness, and welcome to another edition of the Defining Wellness Confab. This is where I am introducing you to dozens of the health and wellness professionals I know to help you when you're becoming the director of your own healthcare and finding your own way through the system. And today, we have someone who we're going to be talking to who has the subject matter has come up time and time again throughout this confab, and that's the concept of breathing. And you know, we all do it all day, right? I mean, we're human, but we perhaps aren't doing it effectively or helping us at the time that we need it the most. So today I have Sharon Harvey Alexander with Mountain Wisdom Holistic Health to talk about breath and as if it's inspired by life and thriving. So Sharon, thank you very much for joining me today.
Hello, Denise. I'm so happy to be a part of this, and thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome, and I'm going to turn it over to you now.
Sounds good. So for the viewers present and anyone that comes to this in the future, again, thank you for your attention. Lots of people in lots of arenas talk about breath and talk about breathing. I have found in 25 years of working as a certified professional yoga therapist, breathing coach, Reiki master, all of those things, that few of us really pay much attention to how we breathe, unless we're stressed, unless someone reminds us, oh, just take a deep breath. But even then, if we do that, when we take a deep breath and the mechanics of our breathing are off for whatever reason, we still stimulate the stress response in the body. So I have written a book called Learning to Breathe, Learning to Live, Simple Tools to Alleviate Stress and Invigorate Your Life. As the title says, it has tools that anyone can use to retrain themselves to breathe in a way that stimulates the relaxation response in the body. And why is this important? The stress response, I'm sure you all know, is what causes us to fight, flee, or freeze when we feel threatened, traumatized, or otherwise uncomfortable. And that is a normal response of the stress response in the body, the sympathetic nervous system, which stimulates the release of cortisol, adrenaline, different hormones that cause us, depending on our tendency, our nature, to freeze up and be incapacitated or get anxious and want to just run away or hide or fight back. And we can practice just moments a day. If you were to take just a few minutes every day to drop your breath deeper, to get more air into the lower lobes of the lungs, you would naturally be stimulating the relaxation response in the body, which allows us to sleep better, digest our food with more ease, enjoy our relationships, and focus our mind on important tasks and conversations. So again, just to repeat, what I have found is that most of us breathe in a way that keeps the stress response firing, even when we take a deep breath, thinking we're trying to relax. So that this inability to physiologically turn on the relaxation response leads to poor sleep, even insomnia. It leads to all kinds of digestive troubles. It leads to that anxious mind. It can lead to depression, overwhelm. It leads to dis-ease. And when we are in a state of dis-ease for a long period of time, what results? Disease. It may end up moving toward diabetes, digestion troubles, heart disease, blood pressure troubles, even cancer. And so again, over 25 years of working in this field of health and wellness with many people, I found that breathing and the way we breathe is the key to all of what ails us individually and collectively as a society. So I teach and train from my book, and I'd love to share a few techniques today that can help you. Sound
Absolutely.
good?
Yes, sounds great.
Okay. And I'll back up and say, why have I done this? You know, people will ask, why did you write this book? And that's a long story, but I want to say that I help people in my work transform stress and dis-ease into well-being by cultivating their intuition and their inherent healing abilities. So people can call me and we can do this over the phone. We can do this on the computer. They can come in for a private session, learn to connect with their breath in a life-enhancing way. So they're not just surviving each day, but they actually feel like they are thriving. They feel vital, they feel calm and centered, focused, and healthy. So let's begin with two. We'll go into two, maybe three practices, depending on how much time we have. I know we only have about 20 minutes total. The first practice is what I call cultivating an easy breath. So if you would, please uncross your legs and empty your seat of anything that you might be holding in your lap. If you are sitting, allow your attention, allow your awareness to move down into the chair beneath your seat. Sense into your sit bones on the chair. Sense into your feet resting on the floor, legs uncrossed. Notice perhaps sounds around you, sensations around you. Where I am, an airplane flew overhead. I can hear it through the open windows. Maybe you hear a dog barking in the distance or a conversation in the other room. Just notice these sounds and sensations around you for a moment. And then gently guide your attention to your breath. Simply focus on your breath for a few rounds of breathing. Just notice your breath. Invite your mind to use breath as the focus, the focal point for your mind's attention right now. And allow your breath to move in an effortless way. Allow yourself to cultivate an easy breath. This should be easy to do, no effort, no mind activity, wondering if you're doing this properly. Simply observing and allowing the breath to flow. I invite you to finish up with this piece now and bring your attention back to me, back to our conversation. You could even take a big breath in and sigh it out, and you could shake it out. Maybe there was a little tension in the shoulders, or wondering if you were doing this right. So let all that go. There's really no judgment, no right way. You're just breathing in a way that's easy and in a way that you are able to focus on breath for a moment. How was that? Did that work for you, listener? Did that work for you, Denise?
It did. It was very calming.
Great. So that really can be done anywhere, anytime. If one was to take a moment before walking into a room for an important meeting, or if one was to take a moment, I particularly appreciate now red lights when I'm in a hurry on the road, because at a red light, I'm like, oh yeah, that's my reminder to connect with my breath. So you can use this easy breath, this turning in and noticing breath anytime, anywhere, to bring about that sense of calm and focus. That's the first step in my book, and then we build upon that. So I'm going to share now the next practice with you all. In the same way, you set yourself up. Your feet are uncrossed and they're resting confidently on the floor. Your seat is resting confidently on the chair. You can do this lying down. It's actually an even better way to practice, but for now, here we are sitting. Rest, soften your shoulders, soften the muscles of your face, and bring your attention again back to your breath. Simply observe the breath. Ideally, you're breathing through your nose. If you have any questions about that, feel free to contact me. For now, if you can, breathe in and out through the nose. Cultivate that easy breath. With the easy breath, you may notice that your breath naturally lengthens. Follow the breath, follow the exhalation now, all the way to the end. And just let the breath turn around and come in as it's ready. Easy breath, following the exhalation. The exhalation is a release valve, an opportunity to let go. I invite you to slide one hand onto your belly. Low on the belly, the pinky side of the hand might even rest there on the thigh or in the groin. And then soften your belly now. Just let it go. There are many reasons why we often hold tension in our belly, a tight belly. We've been told for athletic reasons or aesthetic reasons to hold our belly tight. I'm inviting you to soften your belly now and to let your belly move as you breathe. What this is like is as if you were blowing up a balloon when you inhale. You're bringing air in and there's a balloon in your belly that expands in all directions as you inhale. And then it releases that air back up as the air empties up and out from the lungs. So the inhalation is filling the lungs all the way down to the lower lobes, and that balloon in the belly expands out, parallel to the floor, out into the ribs and out into the back. Everything draws in as you exhale. Air is emptying out. As air comes in, the belly expands. Take a few more breaths this way. This is belly breathing. This is diaphragmatic breathing. We want our effort to be smooth and soft and gentle. An invitation to breathe with awareness in a gentle and nourishing way. Expanding the torso when you inhale. Releasing that, gently contracting in when you exhale. Notice your shoulders. If you have trouble softening your shoulders as you do this, contact me. That is a sign, a potential sign of paradoxical breathing or reverse breathing. That keeps the stress response firing. Take a couple more breaths this way. It's an easy breath, moving the belly. And then I invite you to take a big breath in and sigh it out through your mouth. Beautiful. Breathe as you are naturally accustomed, and let's come back into conversation. What are you noticing? What was your experience? Any questions?
I'm noticing that I want to take a nap now and just feeling so relaxed.
And that may be what relaxation is all about. And yet we associate it with, oh my gosh, I'm tired and I need to go to sleep. Because we're either on all day long, right? Go, moving forward in life, making great things happen. We lie down at night, time to turn off. And that's when we notice our mind, right? Busy, busy mind. If you can take a break a few times every day and do this, your body will remember, this is what it's like to be relaxed. This is what it's like to be responsive. This is what it's like to be in a position where I can engage effectively and thrive day to day in my life, not running and burning myself out, but actually bringing my whole self, my best self, into what I do. So tap into this a few moments every day. Any questions, please reach out and contact me. This is the work that I love to do. I do lots of other work as well, but I'd really love to get this work spread broadly across the world. I think taking an effective breath, being able to breathe effectively, is at the root of living an inspired life, one that is free of disease, one that allows us to be our best self and to enjoy every moment.
Awesome. So can I ask questions now?
Please, of course.
Okay. And actually that was right at 15 minutes. And so we have a little bit of time to chat here, and I appreciate that. So before we hit record, you and I were talking about the fact that I went to the mental health, this National Summit for Mental Health and Mental Fitness earlier this week. It was a great program, but it actually surprised me what my takeaway was from it. And at this national summit, there were presidential candidates there, congressional representatives that are elected there. There were leaders at the Veterans Administration, college institutions. I mean, it was jam-packed with credentials that were there. And the underlying thing that I took away from it was how we need to implement tools into our lives as preventative measures for if crisis or trauma hits our world. Just for mental health. And they were focusing on meditation, mindfulness, and the breath. And that really blew me away. And I'd never thought of it that way, as this is a great tool for learning it now, practicing it now. So if something happens in your life, you have those tools to go back to say, okay, what can I be doing to calm my mind down, because I need to be in tip-top shape as I get through this.
Exactly. And I think that's so important, and I'm so glad to hear that is coming out onto a broader stage, and I truly believe it is. Breath, so you mentioned meditation, mindfulness, and breath. And breath, again, is the link. Breath is the foundation. Breath is the tool that allows us to lead a more mindful life, that can guide us into that meditative state. So breath is key. And again, it's the mechanics that I'm concerned about, that people might be thinking they're doing, being mindful or using meditation to soothe. But if they're a paradoxical or a reverse breather, they're not getting the rest and the rejuvenation and the homeostasis to the systems in their body that will benefit them in being as healthy as they can be. So I think it's a great message. It's why we call it a practice. Use this every day. And then when you're stressed, absolutely, it's already familiar to you. It's already your go-to feel better, focus in tool. Yeah, absolutely. Very important.
And these are the things that you teach people in your practice, correct?
Absolutely. This is the work I do with private clients. For instance, I have a patient who didn't even want to come in yesterday because she has such serious sciatica. She came once, and I gave her physical alignment tools, very simple tools to turn off that inflammation and pain. They helped. They got her through the next 2 days, and then she got busy in life, forgot to use them, super high amount of pain, didn't want to come in again yesterday because it was too painful. Came in and we worked on breath, and I did some Reiki healing, and she was transformed once again. And so now she wants to come in every day so that she can really figure this out. If she had had a breath practice before the pain started, she's a professor, maybe she could have addressed it herself. So this is a simple no-cost tool anyone should have in their toolbox of self-care, and of best practices for
Yeah.
physical, mental, emotional health.
Yeah. Now, where do you work with your clients?
So I see people face to face in my private studio in the Boulder County area, but I also can work virtually. So Denise, I could assess the way you are breathing, your mechanics right now, if you'd like, make recommendations, and we can do the whole thing via phone or computer or screen, Skype or whatever works best for you.
So you can work with anyone, anywhere in the world.
Absolutely.
Awesome. That's fantastic. I appreciate that. I would take you up on the assessment work, but we're going to be running over here.
We'll schedule some time. And
Yeah,
then
well,
also the book is available if people
yeah.
want to read this and reach out with any questions. But again, it's the mechanics that are important,
Yeah.
regardless of what practice you're starting. If
Yeah.
that's a mindfulness practice or a meditation practice,
Right.
or just connecting with the breath to relieve stress, the mechanics are important. And that's what a seasoned set of eyes can help with as you begin.
Absolutely. So where can people find your book?
The book is available on Amazon. It's available from the publisher Balboa Press.
Okay.
It's available on my website.
Okay. And we'll be sharing all of that at the end of this. So this is the point in our conversation where I talk about you being a provider in the You Define Wellness Network and share with everyone what that means, because it's a fantastic thing that has been put together here. And it's not just me. It's been hundreds of health and wellness professionals from across the United States that have helped put together what You Define Wellness is. And so at the heart of it, we are a network of these health and wellness professionals. And when you are stepping away from medical insurance world and trying to find a different path and figuring out who to work with, you're probably going to a search engine and typing in some keywords and up comes a list, or maybe a provider directory with someone else. Well, we have one too on our website at udefinewellness.com, but ours is different and anyone can access it, whether they're clients or not. So feel free to go over there and look through it. But what's different about ours is that when you go to our directory, you know that our people have gone through a background check. We do a criminal background investigation. We are looking at if they hold licenses that are regulated by the state. We are looking to see if there are any disciplinary actions or stipulations against them. We are making sure they're a legal business. And most importantly, I think, is that we're checking their reputation. So you know that the people on our provider network have actually been looked at by someone. We don't accept just anyone. And while it shouldn't be the only tool that you use to decide who you're going to work with, you need to do your own due diligence. It's better than just picking someone off of a list or Yelp or something like that you don't even know. And with this directory of health and wellness professionals, we can do things like create products, like an employee benefit program in the workplace. This is an employer subsidized plan so that you can access the services of someone like Sharon and 130 other modalities out there. We also have put together an education catalog. These are programs that have been created by and are conducted by our network providers that are perfect for lunch and learns at the workplace, business association groups, at schools, anywhere where you need a health and wellness professional. And you can download the catalog for free from our website. And then launching now during this Defining Wellness Confab is an individual card. It's a discount card. It's literally a card that you can present to a provider in our network who accepts it and receive a discount on health and wellness products and services. You can use it as many times in a month as you want. You can share it with your friends and family. Whoever is presenting that card will receive the discount or benefits. And we do have a one-time fee of $99 for this card. And through the end of this confab, actually, we'll do it through the end of this month, which is only a couple more days away. We're offering it at half price, so it's only $49.50. And you can learn more at our website at udefinewellness.com. And then the last thing that I want to share with everyone is Sharon's contact information. If learning how to use breath to de-stress or anything that she has spoken about today, if you want to learn more about it, I encourage you to reach out and contact her. And you can go to her website, you can pick up the phone and you can call her. But reaching out to her is so very important. So any last words, Sharon?
Well, as I always say to my kids, and they roll their eyes every time, remember to breathe.
So I want to give one last comment. It's a very short story because you will appreciate it. In June, I went to the graduation, a high school graduation of an alternative school with 45 students graduating. These are students who had been given up on by the traditional school system, and they went into this alternative school. And, you know, these kids were accomplished. Many of them were going into the military. One had perfect attendance through high school while he was there. One had received scholarships totaling $100,000. These kids had found life. And the last speaker, and I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this, the last speaker was a school counselor, and she turned to the 45 students and she said, I want to speak to you. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to picture my office, that every single one of you had to come and sit with me before you graduated. And you know, my office is dimly lit, soft lighting, the orange comfy chair in the corner. And behind my desk are two framed pictures. One is a picture of my family. The other looks like it's a blank white canvas. And at the very bottom in very small print, it says, just breathe. And I want you to remember this when you wake up tomorrow morning, and life is no different than it was when you woke up this morning. And I want you to remember when you go out on your first job interview to just breathe. I want you to remember when you meet the love of your life to just breathe. I want you to remember when you have your first child to just breathe. I want you to remember when you get fired from a job to just breathe, or you can't make the mortgage payment, just breathe. And at the end of the day, when all else fails, just breathe. Is that not beautiful?
That's profound. I really appreciate you sharing that. And if I may also share a short story that it
Yes.
reminds me, I was fortunate to go to Tanzania and climb Mount Kilimanjaro for my 50th birthday.
Oh, wow.
And that's really where the book came from, because in the first few days I wasn't feeling so good. And my mind started to wonder, oh my goodness, did you spend all this money? Did you take all this time off? Did you spend all this effort training to not succeed? You know, and what does that mean to not succeed? And then I remembered that I could go with the porters who take a shortcut, and I could rest for a day. And I had the practices I needed to fuel myself and to get over this little not feeling so good hump. So that's when on day 3, I began to engage with my personal practices, which are all based on this easy belly breath scenario. And every day, as we climbed higher and higher, I felt better and better. And I was able to summit and spend the night in the crater, which is very rare. About 1% of anyone who goes up the mountain spends the night. Mm-hmm. It was an amazing experience of stepping out under the stars and almost being able to touch them. But it really was due to this effective breathing practice that I had cultivated over many years and that I had returned to every day on the mountain that allowed me to succeed and bring my best self to that. So awesome. If anyone is wrestling with a mountain in life, a metaphorical mountain, a big challenge at work, a big challenge in a relationship, or actually a physical challenge, this is the key: learning to breathe. And I would love to help you learn to breathe effectively so you can bring your best self into everything you do and be exactly who you are here on this earth to be, just as that counselor encouraged each of those students to do and to be as they move into their adult life. So thank you for this opportunity, Denise, and for sharing.
Perfect words to end on, and thank you for doing this. I appreciate it always. And for those who are watching this recording, thank you as well. No matter where you found this recording, you can find our channel at youtube.com. Just put Udefine Wellness in the search bar. Click that follow key so that you know when we're uploading a new video. And you will find all the presentations from this Defining Wellness Confab, plus a bunch more that we have on there. And with that being said, we do appreciate all of you and your participation here today. And with that, we hope to see you on another recording.